Hello journaling friends, welcome to my quiet and cozy little space. I'm feeling a little bit nervous today doing this video. I think it's a combination of two things. One is that it's been a few weeks, it might even be longer than that, like over a month since I last did a video for the channel. So I'm a little bit out of practice maybe, feeling a little bit rusty. And secondly, I am going to Japan. I am so excited, and I think the excitement is coming up as nervousness a little bit. I definitely feel a little bit nervous. Not about flying. I don't feel nervous flying. It is definitely excitement. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm realizing it is excitement. So yeah, a little bit giddy, I guess you could say, with excitement / nervousness. So today what I thought I would talk about with you is what stationery I pack whenever I go on a trip. I started journaling at the very beginning of 2024, and since then I've taken quite a few trips to Japan, Finland, I've been to Bali, and each trip has had, I guess you could say, a different purpose. There have been just the pure, leisure, going to have a break, which is Bali. I mean, you pretty much just sit by the pool most of the time and eat good food. And then Japan has been a variety of hanging out with friends, meeting up with friends. I met up with a friend and we went on a ski trip in Japan. And then I've been to a wedding in Finland. So all of my trips have had various purposes, I guess you could say. Over those trips, I have worked out what works for me in terms of what I'm going to pack. There have been times where I've taken way too much stationery and I haven't needed to bring it all, and I haven't used maybe even half of it. I don't know if there's actually been a trip where I didn't have enough stationery with me. Not really. I don't think so that I can think of. I have definitely taken too much stationery, that's for sure. So on one of my trips to Japan, I spent 3 months there. It was during my winter break, as my work is seasonal, so I have a decent break over winter most years, not every year. For the 3 months, I just had planned to do a little bit of sightseeing, some journaling, hanging out in cafes and reading my book, and I wanted to just take it right back and really slow. So I packed kind of with the intention of almost living like a local. I know that's not really accurate because, I wasn't working there. I wasn't doing the things that all day and every day that a local would do. But I did have the luxury of just being able to completely chill because I had quite a bit of time there, and there wasn't a lot that I really wanted to see. I was really just taking it day by day. So some days I would wake up and just think to myself, okay, I'm going to have my coffee, which I do every morning, and my breakfast, and then I'm just going to head out. I had pinned various cafes or spots that I wanted to check out. So I'd look at the map at one of the pinned places and I'd just pick one, and I'd just hop on the train or walk or whatever and take myself to a cafe and just get myself something to eat and drink and either read my book or do some journaling. Obviously, there was quite a bit of visiting of stationery stores. So then sometimes I'd go to a cafe and just, open all the stationery that I bought. It was quite a, I guess, purposeful trip in that I knew that I wanted to do a lot of journaling while I was there. For that reason, I did take quite a bit of stationery with me. I did also buy, a decent amount of stationery, and I was opening it and using it while I was there. So I ended up having more than enough with me. I wasn't short on anything. On another trip where I was meeting up with a friend, a much shorter trip for that one, I met up with my friend and we went skiing, and there was kind of like a little bit more sightseeing and I guess touristy kind of stuff going on. So I did also visit stationery stores, but I definitely wasn't buying as much. It kind of wasn't my main purpose of that trip. So for that trip, also because I knew I wasn't going to be spending as many hours in cafes journaling, I was quite selective with what I packed and took with me. So I thought I would just show you today what I generally take with me as a kind of basis, I guess you could say, baseline. And then, for instance, when I was there for 3 months, what extra things I took with me. And then for this trip, what I plan to take. In the past, I have been journaling in my Hobonichi cousin. So I have taken her with me on every trip to all of them, actually, all of the trips that I've done since I started journaling last year. This trip, I'm not going to be taking my Hobonichi cousin. I don't know how I feel about that. I want to bring her along, but I also need to think about what I'm packing in terms of weight. I do want to leave some space in my suitcase to buy some stationery to bring home with me. So I've decided after much deliberation that I'm not going to take my Hobonichi cousin with me on this trip. And the reason being is on the longer trips, like especially the 3 months where I was sitting down journaling, quite frequently, not every day, but maybe, 1 day out of 3. And then also journaling, when I got back to my accommodation, I wanted to kind of like decorate my travel pages while I was there. Whereas this time I'm changing my, my plans. So I'm not going to take my Hobonichi cousin this time. So I'm just going to pop that out of the way. I only bought my traveler's notebook recently. I think I went to Finland in August and I had just purchased this. I think it was only a few weeks before I went to Finland. So I took it with me. I didn't travel journal in it at all. I have since done my travel pages in my Hobonichi cousin after I got back from my trip, only because I was only in Finland for 2 weeks. I did go to a cafe and journal a couple of times. I wasn't intending on spending as much time journaling while I was there because I was there visiting family and friends and there was a lot of socializing going on. This trip, however, to Japan, I am planning to journal in my traveler's notebook. I'm basically going to have an insert designated for my travel journaling. I will also travel journal in my Hobonichi cousin, but I'm going to do that after I get home. So that's why my cousin can stay home this trip. So I'm going to do all of my travel journaling in kind of 2 ways, I guess. I'm going to leave my Hobonichi cousin for when I get home, and that'll be memory keeping and documenting things that I did, because what I do is each night I make notes of what I've done that day, and I do this on my phone. I just have like a running notes, tab. So each day I will just write, type little things in there. And it's often not just little things that I've done throughout the day, but it will be things that I've seen, little moments that caught my attention, chance encounters with strangers, because we know I like to meet new people and hopefully have heartwarming little interactions with complete strangers, which I find does happen a lot. Also because I am traveling solo, I find when I'm traveling alone, I do tend to meet people more easily. I don't know if it's because people are more inclined to speak to you when you're on your own. I'm not sure what it is. This time I'm going to pay a bit more attention to that actually. So those are the kind of things that I would pop in my notes on my phone at the end of each day. And it could be some days there's like paragraphs of what I did for the day. And other days it's just like went here, bought this, sat there, read my book, like kind of dot point little notes. So then when I get home, I can then refer back to my notes on my phone. I can also refer to my camera roll because I will be printing a lot of photos. I imagine I will, to go into my Hobonichi cousin. And then my traveler's notebook, which I use for various things, I'll run through that now. I'm going to hopefully pick up I want to get one of the pink inserts. The traveler's notebook is very new to me. I've only had this for a few months, as I said, and I'm still not really using it. Well, I am, but I haven't used it for travel journaling yet. So I'm going to look for a pink insert, and I also want to get a sticker release insert because I know that they are much cheaper in Japan than they are here. I did look for the sticker release insert when I was in Finland, but the one store that I found that stocked traveler's notebook items, they had run out. Anyway, I'm going to get onto that in a minute. I'm also obviously going to bring my ephemera folder, my MUJI Organiser Case. I'm just going to open her to show you in case this is the first time you've seen this. So this is a case I picked up from MUJI in Japan. Basically, I just keep all my ephemera in here. I think I picked this up. It was when I was there for 3 months. It must have been around June or July of last year. I've had it for like a year and a half. And I am still obsessed with it. If you follow me on Instagram, you would know that I talk about this thing all the time. I just think, for me, it's my best stationery find ever. And I love it so much. Anyway, so basically, sorry about that noise. I just, will stick little stickers on here when I'm traveling so that I don't lose them. Pop in some bits of ephemera that I want to keep for my journal. And, yeah, all sorts of things. What have we got? Things off lolly wrappers, some stationery ephemera, more lolly wrappers, labels, some coasters, and more lolly wrappers. Clearly, I like Japanese lollies. And then things like, some little labels that I've torn off bottles and Family Chicky paper, purely just because it's so cute and too cute to throw away, really. So this will definitely is coming with me, obviously, because I will stuff all my ephemera. I plan on basically keeping anything that I come across that is cute enough. So what I'm going to do is keep this with me in my, at my accommodation. And then when I get back each night, I will pop all the ephemera in here. But then what I also plan to do is with my traveller's notebook, because I'm going to hopefully pick up the pink paged insert, I'm going to stick ephemera, some of the ephemera that I collect day by day, I'm going to stick straight into the insert. Meaning, if I'm sitting in a cafe and I don't know, I get a little label off a coffee cup, or I peel a price tag off something or a sticker off something, then I can stick it straight in here. So that way it's really just whatever I'm not putting in here on the day will go into my MUJI case when I get back at night. So my plan for this is, at the moment I have a Love and Trip insert. This insert is purely for memory keeping of like really sentimental moments that I share with loved ones. So I'm never going to show that on here just because it's personal. And then I've got my Happy Mail log. This is where can I show you something in here? I probably need to cover up addresses because I take photos of the envelopes that I receive and obviously addressed to me and then with the sender's address usually on the back. So yeah, I won't go through this. In fact, when I get back from Japan, I'll do a little flip through because this is looking really cute inside. But yeah, the Happy Mail log. Now, obviously, I don't need to take this with me because I'm not going to be documenting any mail I receive because I'll be in Japan. So I'm going to actually take this one out. And then what I'm going to replace and put in here is my stamp insert because I like to collect stamps when I'm in Japan. So I plan to do a lot more of that, hopefully. My little ink blotter. So yeah, I want to take this with me. So that will obviously, I'm hoping one day I will complete this. Depends on how many more times I can get to go to Japan. Actually, that was at the MUJI store in Finland, in Helsinki. So yeah, it's not just Japan, but predominantly stamps that I've collected in Japan. So that's going to go in here. And then I also have my mood tracker. And I have talked about this before, I'm pretty sure, in another video where I set up my traveler's notebook. So my mood tracker, which is going very well, I have like a page of reminders to remind myself about things. So this is what she looks like. So yeah, October, November, and we're already into December. This is the longest, I'm not really into tracking things day by day. I just feel it becomes very, what's the word? It feels too structured. My type of journaling is my preferred type of journaling is very, I want to say messy. Messy is not the right word. It's it's unstructured. It's just very cruisy. So I feel like the tracking thing is so not me, but it's working. I'm enjoying doing it. I mean, to be fair, I have kind of looked back over it, really this thing just to track, how I'm feeling day by day, but there's been no big revelations, but I'm enjoying doing it. I decided I'm going to do it for 3 months, which would be, when did I start it? October, November, December. Yeah, but I have also already filled out January, so who knows, I might keep doing it. So I'm definitely going to bring that because I need to do that every day. Otherwise, there's no way I wouldn't remember how I was feeling 2 days ago. Mind you, in Japan, I reckon we're going to be at the very top of the mood tracker. But yeah, so I'm going to take that, and I'm going to remove this one. So now I've got to remember how to do this because I set it up so long ago. Oh, that's right. I had that over that one because initially I had my mood tracker in there, so that was joined to that. But I've taken that out because it's just easier to have that on my desk. Okay, so we don't need that rubber band for now. So what I'm going to do is, so that can stay at home because I won't be logging any happy mail. I hope I'm doing this right. It's been a while since I set this up, so yes, I think that's right. If not, it's okay. I can always adjust it later. I think that's right. Yeah. Okay, and then I kind of want that because I feel like don't want that in the middle. No, it doesn't really matter, actually. No, I'll put it here. So then have I done that correctly? Does it really matter? Okay. Yeah, that looks right, I think. Okay, so I'll have my little sentimental insert, my mood tracker, and my stamp insert. And obviously I will also have my sticker release insert and my day-by-day travel insert, which I'm going to be doing each day while I'm there. So I'm very excited because I get to do a little bit of journaling when I'm there. I think I will be spending the occasional afternoon or a couple of hours here and there at a cafe doing some journaling. So obviously I can, fill in some pages, but I will also just be sticking in things as I go. If I'm out and about and I'm stopping at a cafe for a drink, but I'm not there just to do journaling, but I'll be able to, stick in little bits of ephemera or maybe even write some little notes if I need to. So it's going to be very cruisy on the fly. Is that the word? On the fly? Oh, look. Who knows? I'm way too excited about going on my trip and I've had a lot to organise, as we do. Not only packing, but, cleaning the house and making sure the pets are looked after and all of that stuff. So, yeah, been a busy week. So that's coming with me. I cannot wait. So obviously when I get back from Japan, I plan to do a flip through of this. I'll show you my journal, my travel pages. I'll probably even show you my travel pages a little bit while I'm in Japan, like just little snippets of what I'm doing while I'm there. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, it is @peggy.pop, the same as my channel. And I'll be definitely posting, maybe not daily, but little updates of stationery finds, stationery stores that I visit. I actually don't like to film too much in public just to, I guess, preserve the privacy of others. But I may try and get some little snippets of things that I find in stationery stores. So follow me on Instagram if you want to come along to Japan with me. And I plan to also give you a bit of a sneak peek into my traveler's notebook while I'm there and what I'm doing with it. So hopefully I can find the pink paged insert. I need to actually look that up. Actually, it doesn't matter because once I get to Tokyo, I am planning to check out a few Traveller's Factory stores. I'll definitely be checking out all the different inserts, but I'm really keen on one of the pink page ones. So that's my Traveller's Notebook. And then I thought I would just show you what else I normally bring with me. So those two, definitely coming. And then I always bring a pencil case. I did consider using the pencil case in this because it comes with a pencil case. But I really want to just keep all my ephemera in here. So I'm just going to leave that as it is. So I always have a pencil case. This just goes into my checked luggage. And I'll just show you a few things that I have in there. My little printer to print some photos, a glue tape, a glue stick, The time I was there for 3 months, I obviously bought quite a lot of glue sticks because I found on a previous trip, I think it was the first time I went to Japan after starting journaling, that I realised what the stationery was like in Japan. I remember walking into Loft and just being absolutely blown away at the variety, all of the cute stationery, like what they have available is unmatched. Like I don't think you could go to any other country. I don't know. Prove me wrong. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Japan is the stationery paradise in terms of what they have available. And also the price, like it's so much cheaper than if I were to buy these things here in Australia or even online, to be fair. And because I just am obsessed with Japanese stationery, I like to buy it from there. It kind of makes sense. Anyway, so I did the first time I went to Japan after I started journaling, I was quite conservative with what I was buying and spending because I kind of felt like I didn't want it to be excessive. I didn't want to just walk into Loft or any other stationery store and just buy a ton of stuff. So I was being very conservative. And then I got home from Japan and I remember going online to look up, it was either for some kind of stickers or washi tape, and saw the price of whatever it was I was looking at to buy online and realised that it was a lot cheaper in Japan. So I didn't actually buy whatever I was looking at, and I didn't buy any stationery online or back home until my next trip to Japan. So I basically save all of my stationery budget to spend in Japan if I have the opportunity to go. So, and in this case, I have already made a list of items I want to buy that are, things I've seen pop up on Instagram or just things that I, need to replenish because I've ran out. And obviously stickers and washi because I use them a lot. So I will treat myself to some of those. And then I've also made a list of stores that I really want to check out as well. I mean, I've got my favourites, Loft, but yeah, I'll obviously check out some others as well. Since then, because I remember coming home and only having a few of these glue sticks, and I love these Tombow Pit glue sticks, I ran out and then I went to my local supermarket and just bought, I can't even remember what the brand was. And it was awful. It wasn't sticking anything down. I didn't like it at all. So the next time I went, I bought, I've got so many of these now. And so, but I will take one with me only because I know I'm not going to be sitting down journaling for hours and hours and hours. So one will be fine, and my glue tape. But obviously I can buy, if this runs out, I can buy another one while I'm there. And then I always have my little scissors. And then just a variety of pens. Oh, my tweezers. I can't live without my tweezers. I do need to find the cover though because they are very sharp. For the teeny tiny stickers, which I'm a fan of those. And so different pens that I always take with me. Friction are my favourites. So I use the blue one. I've got pink ink in this one. I use them in my mood tracker. And then I've just got black ones, which is what I like to write in my journal with. And then I've just got a couple of these. Oh, this is a MUJI blue pen, ballpoint pen, which I love as well. This I use for writing my daily pages. I don't write daily pages every day, but when I'm just doing like a brain spill, I use that pen rather than my friction ones. And then a multicolored one, also friction, and then a mechanical pencil from MUJI. So that's what I'm bringing. In the past, this has been full. Like when I was there for the 3 months, I bought more glue sticks. I remember having some little coloured textures that I was using regularly at the time. So they came along. And I'm not bringing any washi or stickers either. So it's literally just in my traveller's notebook. Every day it'll just be sticking in ephemera for this trip and writing in things. And, obviously if I come across stickers that I buy while I'm there, then they can start decorating my traveller's notebook. So that's it. Not a lot, to be honest, compared to what I've taken in the past. Because, actually, I'll show you what I've taken in the past. Be right back. Okay, so these are my sticker books. And this is a little case that I bought on one of my trips to carry washi tapes in. So when I went for the 3 months, I actually took this. Well, actually, it was last year's, but the Hobonichi Cousin. This, well, I bought that while I was there. And then I had these 3 sticker books full of stickers. So they came with me. I might have bought them on that trip, or I can't remember. No, I'm pretty sure I had them earlier. I've since acquired that one. I'm not taking these because I don't plan on doing a ton of decorating this trip. I'll do it when I get home. And the washi tape. So that's pretty much what I bought along for my 3-month trip. So yeah, this one I'm traveling light. It's just going to be these 2. And then, also I do have a little partner shops passport that my pen pal and very good friend Zoe sent me. This came in the mail 3 days ago. I'm taking that, obviously. And then I did buy this from a little local store. It's obviously not for my notebook because mine's the original size. But I bought this because I really wanted to have a little super small and cute little sketchbook. I cannot draw at all, but I thought I'll take that along with me just in case I do want to practice my sketching. I'm not game enough to sketch in my Hobonichi Cousin because it is not great. But anyway, so I will take those 2 with me. And then I always bring a book or 2. In actual fact, when I went for the 3 months, I think I had 6 books with me. This one is just what I'm currently trying to read. I have not had time because I've been furiously editing all my wedding galleries to get them delivered before I go because I don't want my couples waiting for their photos. So I have been at my desk day in, day out for, I don't even know, the last month, I guess, which explains why I haven't had the chance to do another video. I haven't even been in my journal. My Hobonichi Cousin, I haven't even opened her for I want to say it's about 3 or 4 weeks because I really wanted to get my work done before I went. But now obviously it's all done. I don't have to do any work while I'm away, which is lovely. I'll take this book and then I'm reading this one with my friend Helen. We are doing a book club, which I am failing badly at the moment. Yeah. But anyway, we bought this last year and then we didn't get around to reading it. So I saw it up on my bookshelf last week. And so I messaged Helen and said, hey, it's time to read our Christmas Days book. So I'll take these 2 because I'll be reading one of these on the plane when I'm heading over. And then any times that I'm on a Shinkansen ride or catching on the subway, then I like to read. And also I do like to just go and sit at cafes as well with my book. If I do plan to go and sit at a cafe and do some journaling, I always bring my MUJI tote with me. I picked this up in Japan, I don't know when, but I've used it a lot. So this fits so much in here. So I don't know if we're going to be able to really see it, but so I've got little pockets. It fits, obviously. To be fair, this used to fit my Hobonichi Cousin, my MUJI case, all the sticker folders, and the little washi case as well. And then I'd also have my book in there, my film camera, and when I was there in winter, I would have my scarf in there and gloves, whatever. Anyway, so that's my little stationery tote that goes into my luggage, and then I will use that to carry all my stuff around. So I think that's it. I feel like I wrote some notes to remind myself what I want to talk about, and I forgot to look at the notes before I started this video, so it's probably all over the place. But that's okay. I just needed to get this recorded so that I could finish packing. I'll probably edit this on the plane, maybe. Who knows? Or at the airport before I get on my flight. But either way, I hope to have this up for you in the next week, I guess. And as I mentioned, I will be posting little things that I'm coming across, obviously stationery related, on my Instagram. So as I mentioned before, feel free to follow along there if you want to see what's happening. I hope I have spoken about everything I had planned to talk about. As I mentioned, I did forget to check my notes. Oh, that's what I also want to say is if there's something that you would like to see in Japan, in particular in Tokyo, because that's where I'll be doing the majority of my stationery store browsing. If there's something that you'd really love to see, pop it in the comments because it might give me some inspiration to go and check out a new store. Actually, tell me what is your favorite store in Tokyo or Tokyo and surrounds. It doesn't have to be like central Tokyo. I do plan on checking out a few other areas that I haven't been to before. So yeah, let me know if there's any, like what's your favorite store or a store that you'd really love to visit. Anyway, I'm going to stop this because otherwise I'm going to start waffling. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I feel less nervous now. This has definitely calmed me down, which is great. So thank you. And I will post stuff on Instagram as I'm going. When I remember, I'm not good at taking my phone out when I'm traveling. I tend to really just stay in the moment, which obviously is great. But if I remember, I will try to document maybe a few little things in stationery stores if I feel comfortable doing so. And I would definitely be sharing some snippets of me popping ephemera into my traveler's notebook. And yeah, even some ephemera collecting. I like to share that stuff. Let me know in the comments, what would you like to see? I will catch up with you when I'm back from Japan. Also, if you do pop over to Instagram, say hello. You know I like a chat and I am super friendly. So yeah, say hello. Tell me a little bit about yourself and have you been to Japan? What do you love about Japan? And are you also Japanese stationery obsessed like I am? I am so excited. Every time I think about the fact that I'm going to be there soon, oh my goodness. I keep seeing new stationery from some of my favorite brands popping up on Instagram and I'm like, oh my goodness. I will probably get there in time to grab some of these items and I'm so excited. Okay, that's enough waffling from me. Thanks so much again for stopping by and letting me have this little chat. And I'll see you soon. Bye.